Welcome to our channel, where we always bring you the hottest, most dramatic and shocking developments of the hit TV series Beyond the Gates. Here, every secret, every conspiracy and every seemingly sweet moment can turn into a double-edged sword, ready to pierce the hearts of the characters who seem to be the strongest. During the week from September 1st to 5th, the story at Fairmont Crest is not just a series of consecutive episodes, but an underground storm, a storm that has swept all the characters into a chaotic vortex, from which no one can escape intact. Fairmont Crest is considered an upper-class paradise, where the sparkling lights of the magnificent villas reflect on the night sky as an affirmation of power and wealth. But behind those cold marble walls, behind the brightly lit parties, there were dark places that no one wanted to touch. And it was during that week that the contrast between the glory and the darkness exploded most violently. The focus began with Ted and Nicole's wedding anniversary party, a ceremony that the whole family had been looking forward to as a happy milestone, but in the end it turned into a nightmare that everyone wanted to bury. From the moment the first guests set foot in the luxurious hall, the atmosphere carried an inexplicable sense of insecurity. The scrutinizing eyes, the forced smiles and the cautious steps of a few unfamiliar faces made Eva unable to sit still. She looked at her mother with barely concealed fear, because her intuition told her that she was becoming the target of a dark plot. Meanwhile, Kat noticed the anomalies in the smallest details: a waiter disappearing before his turn, an envelope appearing out of place at the table, and the brief glances exchanged by a few guests sitting at the back of the room. Everything was like a spider web, waiting for the moment to tighten. And then, when the music started, when Ted raised his glass with Nicole to receive the toasts, Leslie stepped out. With cold eyes, a smile as sharp as a knife, Leslie spoke. No need to scream, no need to make noise, but what she brought was like a bomb exploding in the middle of the auditorium. The secret revealed was not simply a shock, but a systematic destruction aimed directly at the Dupree and Richardson families. The lies buried for decades shattered like a shattered mirror, reflecting the dark patches that no one dared to face. In that shock, Ashley and Derek quietly became a mirror reflecting the failure of all efforts to preserve happiness. Their married life, already rotten by torment and suspicion, was now dragged under the scrutiny of everyone. Every attempt to save it only exposed the hypocrisy, leaving a deep wound in their hearts. However, the real nightmare did not stop there. Bill, the man who seemed to be standing outside the vortex, was the one who held a dark truth. In the darkness of the event, he prepared to confess his betrayal to Ted, a truth that had been hidden for decades. And when that secret was revealed, Nicole collapsed. Her trembling hands could not hold the glass of wine, her sparkling eyes turned into ashes of dead faith. Years of love, years of trust turned out to be just an illusion. And it hurts even more when Bill is exposed as an accomplice, a silent witness who has covered up the mistakes that have followed. The Dupree and Hamilton families are no longer symbols of power, but a shattered picture of betrayal and lies. Meanwhile, Eva plunges into a final despair. She wants to save the broken pieces, to prevent the total collapse, but the more she tries to hold on, the more she is drawn into the vortex of truth. Eva's efforts are like a hand trying to piece together each piece of broken glass, but the more she touches, the more blood flows. There is no way out, no way to mend when everything is rotten from the root. That night, the chaos reaches its climax when Kat, unconsciously, steps out of the auditorium and finds herself facing a half-open door. Inside, yellow lights cast a scene she cannot believe. An intimate moment, hidden behind layers of masks, now laid bare before her eyes. Kat's heart clenched, her breath froze in her chest. She knew that this moment would change everything. Not only her life, but the fragile bonds of her family, of her community, would be caught in an unstoppable storm. As the door closed, darkness engulfed Kat, and her eyes flared with a look both painful and fiery. What she had witnessed could not be hidden forever. It would be the beginning of an even more terrible chain of events. The days ahead would no longer be peaceful, because the storm had truly begun. The story at Fairmont Crest that week was not simply a series of dramatic events, but a collapse of illusions, a warning that power, money and love, when mixed with lies and betrayal, will always lead to broken ends. If you want to continue accompanying us to discover the shocking developments, earth-shattering secrets, and unexpected twists of Beyond the Gates, don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any moments.